Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Friday, August 9th, 2024. 2 German tourists have been cited for firing paintballs at Joshua Tree National Park signs. On Sunday, a park ranger patrolling the Jumbo Rocks campground in Joshua Tree National Park noticed bright yellow paintball splatters on structures and signage. While at the campground, law enforcement rangers found a slingshot in plain view inside of a vehicle. After being questioned, 2 visitors at the campground admitted to firing paintballs with a gun and slingshot the previous night. Rangers searched their vehicle and recovered 3 slingshots, a paintball gun, paintballs, and other related equipment as evidence. Rangers also learned that at least 11 roadway signs along Park Boulevard from Jumbo Rocks Campground to the Maze Trailhead, 2 miles from the west entrance of the park, had been shot with yellow paintballs. The 2 visitors are from Germany and were cited for firing paintballs at signs, bathrooms, and dumpsters throughout Joshua Tree National Park. The violation incurs a maximum penalty of a $5,000 fine and not more than 6 months in prison. Paintball markers and slingshots are legally considered weapons and are prohibited in National Park Service-administered lands. Joshua Tree National Park Acting Chief Ranger Jeff Filosa said, quote, "Defacing or altering the national park landscape, no matter how small, is against the law. It diminishes the natural environment that millions of people travel the world to enjoy. The park is regularly tasked with removing graffiti of all types, using time and resources that could be better dedicated to other priorities." The park's maintenance staff is undergoing cleanup at the park. Today is the deadline to file for candidacy in a local elected political body in our county for this election year. San Bernardino County's Registrar of Voters has set today as the final day to file to run for a local elected office. The County Registrar of Voters handles elections throughout the Morongo Basin for both unincorporated areas like Joshua Tree and Morongo Valley, as well as for the town of Yucca Valley and the city of 29 Palms. The Registrar's office closes today at 5 p.m., and anyone running for a position in a local office that will be decided as part of the November 5th election must file their paperwork by then. Most of the publicly elected governing bodies in our area have open seats that will be decided this November. That includes city and town council, local water and education boards, and more. For one governing board, the Morongo Valley Community Services District, which oversees the Morongo Valley Fire Department, every single one of the board's 5 seats is up for election, leading to some unexpected consequences. After announcing he would not run for re-election this year, long-running Morongo Valley CSD Finance Director Johnny Tolbert has made the decision to run again for his seat with the CSD. Reporter Gabriel Hart spoke to Tolbert about the reasons for this change of heart.
After being on the board of the Morongo Valley CSD for 13 years, Finance Director Tolbert thought his time had run its course last spring when he announced that he would not be running for re-election in November. However, Tolbert told Z107.7 this week that he is now running for re-election mainly on account of all 5 CSD seats being on the ballot. Tolbert said, quote, "Not knowing how many of the current board members were going to run, I felt that if I were on the ballot, it would give the citizens of our district a name on the ballot that they would know who has experience with our district. And I hope the citizens of our district know how much I care about our district and our fire department," unquote. As of yesterday morning, President Christina Gorky, Fire Commissioner Lance Fisher, and Tolbert have confirmed that they're on the unofficial list for 4-year term seats. President Gorky says Vice President Lynn Watts and Park Commissioner Steve Hayden plan on filing as well, yet is uncertain whether it will be for 4-year terms. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Gabriel Hart.
Thanks, Gabriel. As the candidate filing period concludes, stay tuned to Z107 for a full rundown of who is running for what seat across all elected bodies in our community. The Perseids meteor shower has the high desert bracing for a repeat of last year's wild night that saw thousands of visitors crawl like tortoises toward the national park to spot some dark skies. Online news editor Robert Hayden joins us with more on this weekend's Celestial Show.
Joshua Tree National Park is nearly 800,000 acres of pristine desert wilderness set aside for humans like you and me to ramble around on, getting up close and personal with plants and animals that can only be seen in this exact spot on Earth. That flora and fauna extend well into the residential areas that surround our park, meaning that on your way into JTNP you'll almost certainly see charismatic critters like jackrabbits, kangaroo rats, and coyotes darting amongst the Joshua Tree and creosote. The high desert's night sky is no different. We have a pretty good view of it just about anywhere here in the Morongo Basin. And while the appeal of even less ambient light at the national park draws stargazers from all over the world, last year's Perseid meteor shower brought way more visitors than our area could safely accommodate. The national park made record-breaking money that night, but it also saw people driving off-road and building illegal campfires and deadlocking the entrance and exit for miles as cars filled the roads and flooded the dark night skies with miles of headlights. And while the promise of a light show will keep the nighttime busy, there's plenty of daytime events for visitors, along with an event that celebrates tourists of an extraterrestrial origin. With more, here's Gabriel Hart.
The Area 29 Galactic Gathering began on Thursday this week and will continue over the weekend through Tuesday, August 13th. This high desert UFO and skywatching festival features a ton of eclectic space-themed events happening at various 29 Palms businesses, including Saturday's UFO literature presentations at Corner 62 and UFO pool party at Lucky Park, with after-parties at Back Alley and Out There Bar. Sunday will feature Sketchbook Church and alien caricature drawing by Walker Meddling and Spacey Soundbath at Corner 62. Make your own alien artifact with stray ceramics at Ground Squirrel, and tons more. For full schedule and list of tips and local rules to help keep the desert clean, dark, and safe this weekend, please visit rediscover29.com.
Thanks, Gabe. While it isn't expected to draw the numbers it did last year, no one wants to be surprised by the crowd that the Perseids can pull to the Morongo Basin. So prepare yourself and any visitors with some alternative plans just in case. We have some suggestions on our website, Z107.7 FM.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
You may have noticed some of your favorite local businesses closing their doors for periods of the summer. Here is reporter Adeline J. Wells with a look at why some Morongo Basin businesses change their hours in the summer.
Summer is peak travel time for most of the country, when tourist destinations are marked by congested traffic and long restaurant lines. However, those in the Morongo Basin know that life here does not follow this typical model. Instead, summer is the slowest time of year in the high desert, when intense heat keeps visitors away. Businesses across the Morongo Basin adapt to this slow pace in different ways. Restaurants such as Luna Sourdough, La Copine, and The Palms in Wonder Valley have closed for August. Joshua Tree boutique El Duende closed its doors for the majority of summer, whereas other shops such as White Label Vinyl and the Wine and Rock Shop have limited their hours. Another local business with limited hours is Funky Desert Vintage, located in Old Town, Yucca Valley. Longtime resident Evelyn Hanna has owned the vintage shop for the last 14 years. After keeping the shop open full-time for the first 8, she then began adopting summer hours, citing low tourism, traveling staff, and the heat as factors.
On the weekends, it's slow, but during the week, it's almost like a ghost town. A lot of people leave who work here in the summer. Everybody takes vacations because it's so hot. I do try to keep people employed that help out with the shop. And unlike other businesses up here, I do not have AC in my shop. I only have a swamp cooler. So in August, it gets pretty hot in here.
Hannah noted that different businesses in Old Town close for various lengths of time. Several have not resumed full hours since the COVID pandemic, while others, particularly new businesses that are establishing themselves, have kept their full-time hours.
I know summers are dead up here and in Palm Springs because it's so hot that I actually save up just for summers so that I can get through them.
Hannah has lived in the high desert since childhood and sees increasing tourism as an important facet of the local, growing economy. As a business owner, this pays off when she can relax on those beautiful desert summer nights.
Tourism is up. I think the high desert is still one of those places that people are unsure of in the summer. But we do have beautiful summer nights up here and lots of music still going on. And personally, I like it.
Funky Desert Vintage is located at 55812 29 Palms Highway. The shop will be open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday through Sunday through the end of August. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
And finally, the Lighthouse Christian Center is giving away free backpacks filled with school supplies at an extravaganza event. Starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. and running until 2:30 p.m., the Make a Splash for Jesus backpack giveaway takes over the Lighthouse Christian Center, located at 5475 Sunburst Street in Joshua Tree. Kids entering kindergarten through 6th grade are welcome to claim a free backpack. You can register in advance for a free gift at a link in this story at Z107.7 FM.com. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@Z107.7FM.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmatz.